What's going on, people? TK coming at you, Master Wealth Builders here on social media, and I wanted to talk to you about the evolution of consciousness in terms of moving to a higher vibration within the perceptions of finance, because a lot of people have this misnomer that finance is what it isn't. So if we was to elevate our consciousness and understand finance to be a financial instrument that is of a private service corporation meant to subjugate, then we can use that transmit utility or that unsigned check. The money substitute can be used in conversion. And I think if somehow we were able to get people to think about money substitute as a medium for conversion, meaning that you acquire gold, silver, and arguably Bitcoin, then you can begin to step into wealth preservation based on mediums outside of that devaluing liability. I don't think people understand the necessity involved in moving your wealth or preserving your wealth beyond paper. You know, the paper should be used as a means to convert to gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And if you did that, you have a financial insurance plan that could elevate your status within time as it applies to purchase power, and of course as it applies to your positioning. Okay, there doesn't seem to be a way to effectively convey the concept of financial insurance where people make effective decisions about their positioning and focus strictly on converting paper, private service paper, or private debt liabilities into tangible assets, physical gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I don't know how to say it in a way in which people make the light go on in their head, but I think the misconception is that paper is intrinsically valuable when it's not. Paper is just a promissory note, an unsigned check from a insolvent de facto corporation that issues printed pieces of paper, you know, private commercial paper, on a closed account. And that printing process is what causes inflation and eventually results to devaluation and loss of purchase power. So we can preserve wealth and convert your representation of labor from dead promissory paper into actual gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So it's almost as if you're moving a dying liability into a tangible asset because of your conversion. And somehow we have to get to that point of understanding where it's a viable solution that people physically do. I mean, come on, so many people focus on the paper and don't understand that the paper is just a measurement of your labor within bookkeeping. You can't seem to grasp that a job is just meant to occupy your time and then, you know, tax your and hypothecate your future earnings So we have to get to a growth stage where people say, okay, I'm not going to focus on paper. I understand that the paper is of a private corporation with the unlimited printing press. And realizing that the currency isn't going to hold its purchasing power. It's not going to hold its value. And the faith and confidence that I put into this piece of paper is what makes it even exchangeable within commerce. So we can create some growth if somehow people was able to focus on tangibles, to actually get into conversion. And conversion is the primary thing that the oligarchs, the kingship, that's what they do with paper. They don't keep paper. They don't settle for paper. All they do is convert to gold, silver, and tangibles. So it gives us a marker, a example for what we should be doing with that same paper. So I'm just talking about elevated consciousness and speaking about it as if people would take it serious. Because the misnomers on currency reign supreme in terms of why people focus on the paper and chase it and give it more credence than it needs to, but it doesn't really turn the light on in terms of why you should focus on assets. So just putting it out there, maybe it's a thought process. Somebody will decide to look in that direction. But I know that would cause change if people just took paper and converted it into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I know that would preserve wealth and give you financial insurance in light of the devaluation and hyperinflation that we see prevalent within our economic community right now. So you have to make an individual decision, and of course it's only going to affect your household, but the people who only want paper are only going to get themselves in trouble. Whether they understand it or not has no bearing on the fact that paper is not a financial solution of strength. Paper is designed to impoverish you. It's a debt instrument, so you can't use a debt to pay a debt. You can't get wealthy by acquiring fiat, deemed by decree, pieces of paper.